The Stranger Things soundtrack is one of the most iconic aspects of the show. From the eerie electronic synthesizers of the opening theme to the 80s hits that are scattered throughout, the music is a huge part of what makes the show so special. In this video, we're going to take a look at the music of Stranger Things, from the composers who created it to the iconic songs that are used in the show. Stranger Things is a Netflix original series that first premiered in 2016. The show takes place in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana in the early 80s. When a young boy named Will goes missing, his mother Joyce, his friends Dustin, Mike, and Lucas, and local sheriff Jim Hopper set out to find him. They soon discover that Will is stuck in an alternate dimension called the Upside Down, and they'll have to battle a deadly creature in order to bring him back. The show was an instant hit when it first came out, and it's easy to see why. It's a perfect mix of 80s nostalgia, horror, sci-fi, and coming-of-age drama, and the soundtrack is a big part of that nostalgia factor. The music of Stranger Things is primarily electronic, with heavy use of synthesizers. It's reminiscent of the horror and sci-fi movies of the 80s, which is fitting, given that the show is set in that era. But it's not just a nostalgia trip. The music is eerie and atmospheric, and it really helps set the tone for the show. The music is such an integral part of Stranger Things that it's hard to imagine the show without it. The opening theme sets the stage for the entire series. It's haunting and mysterious, and it perfectly sets the tone for what's to come. The 80s hits that are scattered throughout the show also play a big role in setting the mood. They help to transport us back to that era, and they also contribute to the sense of nostalgia that many viewers feel when watching the show. The music of Stranger Things is composed by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein of the band Survive. The Duffer Brothers, who created the show, were first introduced to their work while watching the 2014 thriller film The Guest. They loved their music so much that they decided to use one of their songs, Dirge, for the mock trailer that they made to sell the show to Netflix. Once the show was greenlit, they hired Dixon and Stein to compose the score. Dixon and Stein worked closely with the Duffer Brothers to create a unique sound for the show. They drew inspiration from 80s movies like E.T., Blade Runner, and Carpenter's The Thing, as well as from TV shows like Twin Peaks. They also used a lot of vintage synthesizers to create the show's signature sound. The Stranger Things soundtrack consists of 2 volumes, each containing 16 tracks. Volume 1 was released in 2016, and Volume 2 was released in 2017. Both albums were composed by Dixon and Stein, and they feature a mix of original songs and 80s hits. Some of the standout tracks from Volume 1 include Kids, which plays during one of the most iconic scenes from the first season, and Heroes, which is used in a key scene from Season 2. Every Breath You Take is also used to great effect in a key scene from Season 3. And of course, we can't forget about the show's theme song, which is truly unforgettable. Volume 2 features more original songs from Dixon and Stein, as well as some more 80s hits like Should I Stay or Should I Go and Running Up That Hill. There are also a few tracks that are exclusive to the Season 3 soundtrack, like the remix of the theme song that's used in the after show Beyond Stranger Things. The show's theme song is composed by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein of the band Survive. It's based on an unused piece that Stein composed much earlier, which ended up in a library of work that was available for commercial licensing. The Duffer Brothers were drawn to the track because of its eerie atmospheric sound, and they asked Dixon and Stein to rework it for the opening credits. The result is a truly iconic piece of music that perfectly sets the tone for the show. It's been used in a number of live performances, and it even won an Emmy for Outstanding Original Main Title Theme Music. Should I Stay or Should I Go is a song that was created by the English punk rock band named The Clash, notable for some other songs such as London's Calling. This song was chosen to play at extremely crucial and pivotal moments during the first season of Stranger Things. One example of this is when Will was trying to communicate with Joyce from inside the Upside Down. Another prominent example is when the song first plays while Will is bonding with his older brother. The song's overall subject is about an end to a relationship that might just not have ended so well. Because of this, it offers an illuminating light to the overall series, where it actually is a way of calming Will down while he's in trouble and peril. While Will remains in the Upside Down, he's actually reminded that Joyce and Jonathan are still alive, and is using the song to remind them that he's still alive. This song was of particular importance to the main narrative, though the Clash was initially not open to having the song in the show, as they thought it was about monsters from an alternative world, and that would ruin the cultural significance and meaning of the song. The Duffer Brothers were unable to pursue the song themselves, so they left it up to the music supervisor of the show to obtain the rights to use the song and play it during the first seasons. In the end, though, she managed to convince the Clash to give Stranger Things the rights to the song by explaining to the band that the show was less about monsters and more about the bonds between a loving family. Kids is an original song composed by Dixon and Stein for Stranger Things. It plays during one of the most iconic scenes from the first season, when Eleven uses her powers to stop bullies from harassing Mike and his friends. The song perfectly captures Eleven's emotional state at that moment, and it's become one of the most beloved tracks on the soundtrack. Heroes is originally a song by David Bowie, but it's Peter Gabriel's cover that's used in Stranger Things. It plays during a key scene from Season 2 when Eleven confronts her monster self. The song perfectly captures Eleven's struggle to come to terms with her powers, and it helps elevate the scene to a whole new level. Every Breath You Take by The Police is used to great effect in a key scene from Season 3. The song plays as Eleven is trying to track down the Russian operatives who have taken over the Hawkins laboratory. It's a tense, suspenseful scene, and the song perfectly heightens the drama. Stranger Things is full of iconic scenes, and many of them are made even more iconic by the music that's used. The show's opening credits are a perfect example. The eerie, atmospheric theme song perfectly sets the stage for what's to come. Another great example is the scene in Season 1 when Eleven uses her powers to stop bullies from harassing Mike and his friends. The song Kids perfectly captures Eleven's emotional state at that moment, and it's become one of the most beloved tracks from the soundtrack. In the third season of Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers used The Never-Ending Story as the theme for the final episode. The song is used when Susie refuses to provide the code unless Dustin sings it with her. Initially, the Duffers were planning on using the Ent and the Entwife song from The Lord of the Rings, but decided to change directions when they became aware that Amazon Studios was developing their own Lord of the Rings series. Writer Curtis Gwynn is credited with using The Never-Ending Story as a way to bring Susie into the show's mythology. The song choice gave Matarazzo, who has sung on Broadway before, a chance to showcase his vocal abilities. The moment when Running Up That Hill plays in the background is very powerful and emotional for the characters of Stranger Things. Max is fighting for her life against the evil entity Vecna, and the music helps to underscore the intensity and gravity of the situation. It also serves as a reminder of the people that Max loves and who are fighting for her, which gives her the strength to keep going. This scene is one of the most memorable and well-done moments in the series, and the song itself is an iconic part of it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, this video proved useful in explaining the many key nuances and moments that went into the development of the Stranger Things soundtrack. Without question, Stranger Things has one of the greatest soundtracks any TV show has to offer. They do a hauntingly beautiful job in their song choice and implementation. That's it for this video, though. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on our latest videos, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a future upload.